I love Star Wars. It is my favorite movie franchise by a mile. Sorry, Come here. She likes Star Wars too. Big Star Wars fan. And unfortunately, I saw the Mandalorian Grogu and was super excited for it, only to find out that it was a stinker. I had hoped that Jon Favreau would deliver like he did for movies like Iron Man, but this just wasn't the case. It was ugly, it felt pretty soulless, like, yeah, we got to explore some new parts of Star Wars, but at the end of the day, the only things really enjoyable about this movie were the moments with like good puppetry and with Baby Yoda and with Babu Frick creature and all of that jazz, which was a small portion of the movie. It was not what the movie was centered on. Instead, it was a movie about the Hutts and Hutts stuff, which was pretty underwhelming, if I'm gonna be honest. So, what do we do? Like, what's going on with Star Wars? Do you know? What's going on with Star Wars? Things were so good at one point. Force Awakens had amazing reception. I know it hasn't aged too well, but when it came out, people were in love with that movie. I was in love with that movie as a wee little fifth grader. I believe I was a fifth grader when that movie came out, which is crazy to think about. I am about to be a senior in college now. Like, wow, that was a long time ago. And then Rogue One came out, and that was great. Last Jedi came out. I love that movie, but unfortunately, like after that, things weren't looking too hot. Solo was a big disappointment, and then J.J. Abrams came back and ruined Rise of Skywalker, and now we have like a really bad trilogy, and then we didn't get a Star Wars movie for 7 years, and then the Star Wars movie that we did get was Mandalorian and Grogu. Even though we did not have a Star Wars movie for 7 years, I think that there is an oversaturation in the Star Wars market. We've had so many different Star Wars TV shows at this point. There's Star Wars this, Star Wars that. Like, there's the bigger shows like Mandalorian, Boba Fett, Ahsoka, but then you also have the little ones like Acolyte and Skeleton Crew. That's a lot of Star Wars. You know, like, those movies in the past used to just come out once every few years for a trilogy, and that would be that. But with Disney, you had a Star Wars movie every year for 5 years, and then at least one season of Star Wars television every year since then. And that is like live action Star Wars television, not just animated. Star Wars is something that is special. It should be an event. And I think Disney kind of learned that hard truth with another franchise they have, Avatar, where Fire and Ash really underperformed and did not get close to making like $2 billion like the other Avatar movies did. We're gonna have a Star Wars movie that maybe doesn't even cross $200 million domestic by the end of its run, with how poorly Mando Grogu is about to drop. I am recording this before final box office numbers come out for that movie's second weekend, so I do not fully know yet. But Obsession the other day did better than Mandalorian and Grogu, which is crazy. That was a horror movie that cost $750,000 to make. Mandalorian and Grogu is a Star Wars movie. Like, what is happening? Disney is acting like a Sean Levy movie is going to save them with Star Wars Starfighter. Is Sean Levy really that good of a director? Like, he's made alright movies, but I don't even think he's on the level of like a J.J. Abrams. Personally, if I was Disney, if I was Dave Filoni, making the decision on what to do with Star Wars, I would take a look at what's happening with Mandalorian and Grogu and realize, oh my gosh, like, we just need to hard stop Star Wars for a little bit. I would release Starfighter, release Ahsoka Season 2, maybe release either a movie or TV show that acts as a conclusion for Ahsoka, Mandalorian, all of those stories, just so that way there are not like loose ends that exist forever, because I think that will really disappoint some people, and you'll have a lot of angry fans that want those loose ends tied up if you don't do that. But after all that, go back to the drawing board. Go back to developing. Take a 5 to 10 year hiatus from Star Wars. Come up with new characters, new stories, new worlds, separate from the Skywalkers and all of those adjoining characters. Give us something familiar, but also very different. And come back with that, with a proper trilogy, and release each of those movies within like 2 years of each other. And I think that is how you save Star Wars. I think that is what needs to happen. And unfortunately, I don't think the profit-maximizing corporation that is the Walt Disney Company will do that. There's just no way. They are going to milk Star Wars until it's dry and then leave it discarded for like 30 years. Maybe I'm too negative. Maybe like there is a more optimistic way of looking at things, but I still think that the best thing you could do is reset and do a temporary hard stop. But what about all of you? What do you think Disney should do? If you were Disney, what would you do to save Star Wars? Please let me know in the comments down below. I would love to have a discussion and talk about it. I think it's just like a really fun talking point, even though it is kind of disappointing, because at the end of the day, I think that we can all agree that Disney will not make the right call. And they will instead do what they think will make the most money, rather than do what they think will best preserve this special franchise. I will see you all in the next video. Take care.